Well, look, on screen at the moment is Sir Richard Moore, the current head of the Secret Intelligence Service, otherwise known as MI6. And as I mentioned on Monday's program, he's to be replaced by Blaise Machiavelli later this year, I think at the end of September. Now, the Prime Minister has appointed him to be the next chair of the Kennedy Memorial Trust for a period of 5 years. For those who don't know, the Kennedy Memorial Trust was established in 1964 to administer money raised in the United Kingdom as a tribute to the late John Kennedy. Whatever Britain's role was in his death, maybe it's some kind of, some kind of exercise in trying to absolve themselves of responsibility in some way. But anyway, part of this fund was used to create and maintain the Kennedy Memorial Site at Runnymede, and the rest is used to provide Kennedy scholarships, which enable British postgraduate students to study at Harvard and at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Now, the recruitment process for trustees, of which Moore is now one, of course, being the chairman, this recruitment process is run by the board of the trust and approved by the Prime Minister. And in this case, the recruitment panel was chaired by Marianne Sieghart, who's a senior independent trustee of the Kennedy Memorial Trust, apparently. But of course, Marianne is also a journalist. She served on Ofcom's board in the past and written for the Times and so on. So she's a pretty establishment figure as well. Anyway, getting back to Richard Moore, he has a BA in philosophy, politics and economics from Oxford University. And on leaving Oxford, he won a Kennedy Scholarship. So isn't it appropriate, therefore, that he has now become chairman giving out these gifts? So he then went off to the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. And then in 2007, he attended Stanford Executive Program. So, Patrick, what is this? Is this a UK equivalent of the Rhodes Scholarship Program, Deep State in Action, grooming its next generation? Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, or the Chevening Scholarship Program run by the British embassies overseas, or the British Council. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a career path. And by putting the head of intelligence in charge of that program, that's talent spotting, grooming, and getting people prepared for a position in the deep state. So maintaining the transatlantic Anglo-American shape that is represented in confabs like Bilderberg and others. So that's exactly what it looks like.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's leave it then with this story, because I mean everybody has seen the headlines over the last couple of days as we've been experiencing relatively warm temperatures for the UK at least. But you know, the BBC here is typical. Temperatures to hit 32°C again as heatwave grips UK. Now, this article, if we're talking about war propaganda, this is absolute climate propaganda, because if you read through the text of this, it's got the usual stuff about wildfires, about how we're all going to die and so on. And although the headline is a little less sensationalist than others, it's absolutely reinforcing this propaganda narrative. So look, let's look at this then. This came out from Sky yesterday. Amber heat health alert issued across England with rise in deaths likely. Read more, right? And I strongly recommend everybody goes and looks at this Twitter thread. If we just put that back on screen, I'm going to show a couple of the responses to this, but this is just two of the more polite responses. So here's one. Nobody's going to die from 30 degrees heat. Calm down. Fair point. And another one here. Not gullible enough to read more. It's summer, you worthless idiots. And those were the politest of what is on. There are hundreds and hundreds of replies on that, basically telling Sky News to wise up. Because
highs this weekend, Mike, 24. I just checked the weather report. Where are they getting this 32 for this weekend? Or is this sometime in the unknown future? Is that
no? I think there's probably a couple of places around the country where the temperatures have been a little bit higher. But even so, the British people spend hundreds, if not thousands, of pounds every year getting out of this country to go to Spain, to Portugal, to Greece, to experience 30-degree temperatures.
Yep.
And so they don't die in the process. Now, many of the tweets in response were highlighting the fact that actually the number of people that die from the cold is orders of magnitude worse in this country than those who die from heat stroke or some kind of heat-related illness. So, you know, it's ironic that we are being force-fed this kind of propaganda while elderly people and people living in poverty continue to literally die during the winter from not being able to switch the heating on in the house. It is quite an incredible situation.
Remember Frank Butcher and Peggy? 2 weeks in Benidorm? How do you say beans and chips in Spanish?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Well, look, we got to leave it there for today. Patrick, Mark, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back in a few minutes if you're a UK Column member for some UK Column News Extra. Stick with the live stream. Otherwise, have a great weekend. We'll see you 1 p.m. as usual on Monday. See you then. Bye-bye.